multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless, we will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your solo. No applause? You're all fired.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braylon got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum, echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear, the pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor, every moment is a savior, every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth. We're free, trust and believe. It's entertainment, news done our way with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to the people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Yes, indeed. I'm in Things Gone. We debuted it this morning. You'll be hearing that every show, okay? Every show you'll hear that. So I'm glad to have all of you here. let's get to the getting and doing what we do, because higher is waiting, lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. Yes, indeed. There you see that virtual tour background. Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music. Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. So for those of you who do not know, Tyler Perry is responding back to Derek Dixon. So I read this article this morning from MediaTakeout.com right here. So as you can see, Media Takeout. Tyler Perry fights back. Lawyers seek to dismiss gay harassment lawsuit. Tyler Perry fights back, files motion to dismiss $260 million harassment lawsuit. Says case belongs in Georgia, not California. 2 months after being served with a $260 million civil lawsuit from the former Oval actor Derek Dixon, the media mogul Tyler Perry is fighting back hard. Media has confirmed that Perry's legal team officially filed a motion to dismiss the case, arguing that California is the wrong jurisdiction for the lawsuit. According to the filing, all of Perry's business dealings with Dixon took place in Georgia, where the Oval is filmed and produced at Perry's Atlanta-based studio. So Tyler Perry's legal team accuses Dixon of forum shopping in the documents obtained by Media Takeout, which we're going to get to those here in just a minute. By the way, shout out to Document Ting for the intel on that. Perry's attorneys accused Dixon of forum shopping, a legal term meaning the plaintiff deliberately filed the lawsuit in a state with laws more favorable to their case. And in this instance, the difference is huge. California has some of the strictest workplace harassment laws in the nation, making it much easier for plaintiffs to bring forward cases of alleged misconduct. Georgia, however, is known for being far less stringent when it comes to civil harassment claims. Legal experts say if the case gets transferred to Georgia, Perry's team will have a far stronger chance of getting it thrown out entirely. Tyler Perry isn't just challenging where the case is filed. He's denying every single allegation made by Derek Dixon. Perry denies all allegations there. Dixon, who appeared on Perry's hit BT series The Oval, accused the builder and filmmaker of making unwanted advances and creating an uncomfortable work environment. In his $260 million suit, Dixon claimed that her alleged harassment led to emotional distress and professional harm. The Perry's camp is pushing back hard in his official response. Perry's legal team described Dixon's claims as fabricated and said the former actor cultivated a personal relationship with Perry for financial gain and professional opportunity, not out of genuine friendship. According to insiders who spoke to Media Takeout, Perry believes this lawsuit is a money grab and a desperate attempt by a disgruntled former employee to cash in on his name. What happens next if the court sides with Perry and grants the motion to dismiss or move the case to Georgia? The lawsuit could either be refiled in that state or dropped entirely. But if the judge allows the case to stay in California, Perry may face a much tougher legal battle, one that could draw national headlines and potential fallout for his billion-dollar entertainment empire. For now, Tyler Perry appears confident and unbothered, continuing to work on multiple TV and film projects out of his massive Atlanta studio. But make no mistake, this legal showdown is far from over. Stay tuned, because Media Takeout will continue bringing you exclusive updates as this $260 million Hollywood versus Atlanta courtroom drama unfolds. So, with that being said, let's get to the getting and doing what we do. Shout out to Document Tings for this here. So, here is where this will be going down at, right? So please take notice on that December 5th, 2025 at 10 a.m. or as soon thereafter, this motion may be heard at the First Street U.S. Courthouse, 350 West First Street, Suite 4311, Los Angeles, California, 90012. Defendants Tyler Perry, TPS Production Services LLC, and Action LLC will move to dismiss plaintiff's complaint in the doctrine of forum non-convenience, or alternatively to transfer this action to the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm not sneezing on camera in front of y'all. In support of this motion, defendants rely on the arguments and authority set forth in accompanying memorandum of authorities, the declarations of Robin, Gordon, Tyler Perry, and Alex Burgess, and the entire court record, and all arguments that may be presented to the court there. So, right here on September 23rd, 24th, and 25th of 2025, Defendants Counsel. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm good, Joe. I'm good. On September 23rd, 24th, and 25th of 2025, Defendants Counsel contacted plaintiffs' counsel in good faith attempt to resolve issues. Let's see here. To resolve issues raised in this motion, see declaration of Alex Burgess. The parties were unable to resolve the dispute. Thus, necessitating the filing of this motion filed October 1st of 2025. So here is defendant Tyler Perry, T Productions, and Action and Dixon's allegations. The arguments here. So it looks like it's not too long of an argument, but Georgia courts are more familiar with Georgia law. So this is the argument that Tyler Perry is giving, essentially. Local interests lie in California, in Georgia rather. California courts are more congested. So here are all the cases, rather. I only said cruise because it's called cruise lines right there. A lot of cases to reference there, a lot of statutes. Right here, Derek Dixon's theatrically applied complaint seems like something that belongs in Hollywood. There's no legal basis under which a California court can exercise personal jurisdiction over the defendants. All defendants are Georgia citizens and do not transact business in California, much less any business that relates to this lawsuit. Plaintiff performed work for defendants Tyler Perry Production Studios LLC, T Prod, and Action LLC, and Action only in Georgia. Of all the alleged incidents giving rise to Dixon's claims reportedly took place outside California, and all contracts between the parties contain Georgia choice of law and forum selection cases. So this is what I would say to this, right? When we look at this case, Derek Dixon also lives in LA. Tyler Perry also has a house in LA, right? So, not to mention too, you probably have went to LA to film for movies and stuff, you know, and your TV shows. Even though you have a studio there, there's nothing like LA, right? So you probably have done work out in LA before. So I just wanted to bring that up. Whoa. Okay, Dixon is forum shopping. The only yet irrelevant connection between this dispute in California is that Dixon moved there in 2023, over a year after the last incident of alleged assault. Dixon cannot come close to meeting his burden of proof of providing personal jurisdiction exists over any defendant because this case involves institutional forum shopping. The court should dismiss it. Alternatively, the case should be transferred to the appropriate forum, the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. So it says here, Tyler Perry has lived in Georgia for over 30 years and maintains his permanent residence there. Mr. Perry intends to reside, return, and remain definitely in Georgia. He's registered to vote in Georgia, has a Georgia driver's license. Although Mr. Perry owns property of the state, including a house in California, he does not use and has never used any of these properties as a permanent residence, except for 2 cash trips to the Bahamas and Europe, and 1 or 2 visits to Mr. Perry's vacation house in Jackson, Wyoming. All of Dixon's alleged in-person encounters with Mr. Perry were in Georgia. Mr. Perry had no relevant interactions with Dixon, California, and Dixon please no such contacts. So they do at least admit that he does have a house in California, and just because you haven't used it as a permanent residence doesn't mean that you don't utilize the house, right? So, of course, T Prod, a production company, is a Georgia limited liability company, LLC, headquartered in Georgia. T Prod is a wholly owned subsidiary of Tyler Perry Studios Production Holding LLC, which is a Delaware LLC headquartered in Georgia. Um, Mr. Perry, a citizen of Georgia, is one owner, and also two, Perry World Holding Company, which is a Georgia corporation with its principal place of business in Georgia. T-Prod does not engage in business in California. Let's see here. Dixon was an independent contractor for an Action and then T-Prod in Georgia between 2019 and 2024, working as an actor in the television series Ruthless and the Oval, the film Joy Ridge, Finding Joy, in the pilot episode for potential series called Losing It. All were filmed at Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Dixon did not perform any work for a defendant outside of Georgia. Each time Dixon contracted for a role with an Action or T-Prod, Dixon executed a performer agreement. All agreements contain Georgia choice law and Georgia forum selection clauses. So, of course, right here, Dixon's allegations, we all know them, but I'm just saying this because it is in the documents here. Defendants deny Dixon's allegations. The complaint distorts reality and is characterized as a platonic friendship that, as it turns out, Dixon openly cultivated for personal financial gain, notwithstanding and without admitting the truth of Dixon's concocted claims. The allegations relevant to this motion follow. Mr. Perry met Dixon in 2019 when Dixon was living in Georgia and working for an event company that coordinated functions for Mr. Perry in Georgia. Dixon expressed an interest in acting, and Mr. Perry helped him secure a minor role in the television series Ruthless, appearing in a single episode filmed in Georgia in 2019. In January 2020, Dixon attended a party at Mr. Perry's Georgia residence and spent a night in the guest bedroom. Dixon claims Mr. Perry tried to get in bed with him. Despite this, Dixon voluntarily came to Mr. Perry's home in Georgia 2 months later. During this March 2020 visit, Dixon claims Mr. Perry asked Dixon sexually charged questions and grabbed Dixon by the throat in a sexually aggressive manner. Dixon was cast in season 2 of The Oval, also filmed in Georgia in August of 2020. During the COVID pandemic, cast members quarantined and temporarily resided at the Tyler Perry Studios campus in Georgia so they could film. Dixon claims that Mr. Perry dropped off alcohol at his house and forced him to imbibe during phone conversations with Mr. Perry. Dixon claims later he went to Mr. Perry's trailer for drinks, and Mr. Perry made sexual advances and tried to grope plaintiff's buttocks. About a month later, Dixon voluntarily accompanied Mr. Perry and other cast members on a trip to the Bahamas, where he claims Mr. Perry made sexual advances towards him and allegedly tried to grope him. In early of 2021, Dixon acted in season 3 of The Oval in Georgia. Dixon claims that Mr. Perry photographed Dixon to him the pictures. At some point, Dixon presented Mr. Perry with a pie script he had read for Losing It. Mr. Perry liked the script and offered to film it. Dixon claims that on June 4th, 2021, he went to Mr. Perry's home in Georgia to discuss Losing It and stayed overnight at Mr. Perry's guest house. Dixon claimed that while he was there, Mr. Perry attempted to pull down his underwear and grope his buttocks. Dixon resumed his role in season 4 of The Oval, filmed in Georgia in November of 2021. The following month, Dixon and Mr. Perry discussed and eventually filmed Losing It in Georgia. Dixon acted in seasons 5 and 6 of The Oval, filmed in April 2022 and February 2023 in Georgia. 2023, Dixon decided to move to Santa Monica. After he moved, Dixon had a small role in the movie Joy Ridge / Finding Joy, filmed in February 2024 in Georgia. Dixon contracted to act in season 7 of The Oval, but breached his contract by refusing to perform. So those are the facts. If you missed the whole lawsuit, just type in Tyler Perry lawsuit breakdown, you will see that. So we went through every single thing in that lawsuit, okay? These facts and allegations make one thing clear: this action does not belong in this court. Accordingly, the court should conclude that it cannot properly assert personal jurisdiction over defendants and dismiss its claims under federal rule civil penal code 12b2. Number two, enforce the Georgia Forum section and choice of law clause in Dixon's performer agreements with top air students and dismiss this action for improper venue under um, Fed rules under federal rule civil code, civil penal code, penalty code 12b3. Number three, dismiss Dixon's claims pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1404 forum non-convenience, or number four, in the alternative, transfer this action to the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1404A or 1406. So number one, the court should dismiss this action for lack of personal jurisdiction pursuant to Federal Rule Civil Penal Code 12b2 in opposing a defendant's motion to dismiss for lack of personal jurisdiction. The plaintiff bears the burden of establishing that jurisdiction is proper. Ronza versus Nike Incorporated. Dixon could not meet its burden of proof for their allegations. Schwarzenegger through Fred Martin Motor Company. The court may consider declarations and evidence outside the pleadings in determining whether personal jurisdiction exists. C. in Reed Boone Glob. Okay, then. Moreover, where facts contesting personal jurisdiction are supported by declaration, a court may not assume the truth of allegations in a pleading which are contradicted by the declaration. For personal jurisdiction to exist over a non-resident defendant, the exercise of jurisdiction must, one, authorized under the state long-arm statute, number two, comport with federal due process. California's long-arm statute is coextensive with federal due process, so there is only one analysis here. Federal due process permits a court to exercise personal jurisdiction over a non-resident defendant if that defendant has at least minimum context with the relevant forum, that such the exercise of jurisdiction does not offend traditional norms of fair play and substantial justice. A defendant has minimum context with a state when the defendant's conduct and connection with the forum's state are such that he should reasonably anticipate being hauled into court there. There are two types of personal jurisdiction, general and specific. General jurisdiction requires a plaintiff to establish that a defendant has continuous and systematic contact with the forum state to comport with due process. In other words, general jurisdiction applies only if the action is filed in the defendant's home state. Specific jurisdiction exists when the lawsuit arises out of a defendant's specific lawsuit relevant context with the forum state. So basically what I'm getting from this is, if it did not happen in California, then you have to, do the lawsuit where, they decide, right? That's what I'm getting from it. Court lacks general personal jurisdiction over defendants. Tom Perry is a Georgia resident and does not have sufficient contacts with LA. Dixon alleges that Mr. Perry resides both in the state of Georgia and the state of California, and has a business contacts in the state of California, so that he conducts substantial, continuous, and systematic business activities in California. That is untrue. Individuals are citizens of and only subject to general personal jurisdiction in the state where they are domiciled, and a person can only have one domicile. So, true, but not true, because think about it. All the headquarters for Amazon, right? Netflix, BET's more on the west, is more on the East Coast in New York with, Paramount headquarters and stuff like that. But they do have a California office at BET, right? So you have Paramount, you have Netflix, you have BET. Those big entities have contacts out in Atlanta. There's no way in hell you mean to tell me that you never went out to LA to conduct business. Ain't no way. Ain't no way a person's domicile is his or her permanent home where he or she resides with an intention to remain, or which he or she intends to return. Owning property or residing in a form does not subject an individual to that state's personal jurisdiction. A person residing in a given state is not necessarily domiciled there, and thus this is not necessarily a citizen of that state. Mr. Perry is a permanent Georgia resident. His primary home is in Georgia. He is registered to vote and pays personal income taxes in Georgia. He has a Georgia driver's license. Todd Perry Studios, where he principally works, is in Georgia. Dixon cannot dispute that Mr. Perry's domicile, where he resides and intends to return definitely, is Georgia. Mr. Perry owns property in California. Um, let's see here. Mr. Dixon served Mr. Perry in Georgia, so tag personal jurisdiction does not exist. It is relevant as a matter of law. Dixon inaccurately contends Mr. Perry conducts substantial, continuous, and systematic businesses in California. That vague allegations meaningless. The complaint does not describe any of these alleged business activities, let alone um, identify a single instance in which Mr. Perry personally engaged in business activities in California, much less business activities related to this case. Generic and conclusionary allegations cannot establish personal jurisdiction. B. None of the entity defendants are California citizens or subject to general personal jurisdiction. A court's ability to exercise general jurisdiction over corporate defendants also turns on the citizenship of the entity defendant. A corporation is a citizen and subject to general jurisdiction in the state or states where it is incorporated and maintains its principal place of business. As the complaint alleges, the entity defendants were headquartered in Georgia. Neither had operations in California. Furthermore, none of the entity defendants, owners slash members were California citizens. That means the entries are not subject to general jurisdiction in California. To otherwise establish general jurisdiction on these facts, plaintiff must demonstrate an exceptional case where defendants' California activities were so continuous and systematic as to render them. Dixon cannot satisfy this considerable burden by simply claiming that a non-resident defendant does business in a foreign state in which all that he does is here. In truth, the entity defendants do and did not do business in California. As such, they would be essentially at home in California. They have no offices in California. They do not own property or maintain bank accounts in California. They're not licensed to do business in California they do not have a registered agent in California. Defendant who had no offices, staff, or other physical presence in California and was not licensed to do business in the state. Dixon has the burden of establishing that jurisdiction is proper and fails to allege any facts suggesting that this is an exceptional case. Number two, the court also lacks specific jurisdiction because the dispute does not arise or relate to defense context with California. Number one, the non-resident defendant must purposely, where his activities or consummate some transaction with the forum or resident of. Number two, the claim must be one which arises out of or relates to the defendant's forum-related activities. And three, the exercise of jurisdiction must comport with fair play and substantial justice. It must be reasonable. Dixon cannot satisfy any one of these wrongs. Right here, Dixon cannot show purposeful direction. To satisfy the first prong, purposeful direction in a tort case, a defendant must have one, commit an intentional act. Number two, expressly aimed at the forum state, causing harm that the defendant knows is likely to be suffered in the forum state. Here, the complaint fails to identify any actions taken by defendants that have nothing to do with California, let let alone actions expressly aimed at California that were likely to cause harm suffered in California. Dixon's conclusionary allegations that the lawsuit arises out of facts that occurred in California and or that location of all the events here in alleged occurred within the jurisdiction of California are much like to his charge of alleged assault and harassment. Unsupported fantasy, but more importantly for motion. For this motion, they lack the specificity or plausibility required to satisfy Dixon's burden. In fact, they are contradicted by the rest of the complaint itself. Dixon alleging he met his parent in Georgia while Dixon was living in Georgia and worked for a Georgia-based event company. Dixon auditioned and secured a role in a television series produced by An Action that was filmed in Georgia. Dixon accepted a recurring acting role in another series that was filmed exclusively in Georgia. Dixon stayed on set at Top Air Studios in Georgia with COVID-19 late production. Dixon wrote a script for a television series and executed a purchase agreement for the pilot episode while he lived in Georgia. Dixon filmed the pilot for that series in Georgia, and Dixon accepted a role in a Tyler Perry Studios movie that was filmed in Georgia. Dixon alleges 5 purported incidents of alleged assault and or harassment, 3 of which took place in Georgia, and 1 purportedly occurred in the Bahamas. Dixon does not provide the location of the other incident, but does not allege it occurred in California, and his description of the incident suggests it purportedly occurred at Mr. Perry's home in Georgia or Wyoming. The complaint represents other encounters between Dixon and Mr. Perry during the filming of the Oval at Top Air Studios campus in Georgia, and it also generally alleges that Dixon and Mr. Perry exchanged text messages and phone calls during the 4 to 5 year personal during the 4 to 5 year period encompassing Dixon's claims. As for Dixon's reported injuries or damages, Dixon claims that he sought therapy and was diagnosed with PTSD in Georgia, allegedly had a panic attack in his trailer upon encountering Mr. Perry on set in Georgia, and claims he suffered close to $400,000 in lost earnings that he would have otherwise received if he would perform in season 7 of The Oval, which was filmed in Georgia. Finally, Dixon claims he reported the alleged harassment to the EEOC, and his charges were filed with the EEOC's regional offices in Atlanta. The complaint lacks any allegations that Dixon interacted with or worked for defendants in California and identifies no intentional or towards acts expressly aimed at California, let alone they didn't cause any foreseeable harm in California. Ooh, my Lord Jesus. A plaintiff can't be the only connection between the forum state and the non-resident defendant. The relationship must arise out of contacts the defendant creates with the forum state. It's not enough for me to allege that the defendant's conduct was aimed. Likewise, Dixon's allegation that he was harmed or injured by defendants in California is also insufficient. Dixon cannot establish for correction. Yeah, we're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Yeah, we're almost there, y'all. By the way, don't you just love our new music, by the way? I absolutely love it. Let's see here. Excuse me. Sorry. Trying to make sure that I am read all that. Yes, okay. Because the complaint does not identify any actions defendants directed towards California, the but-for test fails. Dixon's January 2023 relocation is irrelevant. It had nothing to do with defendants or their contacts with California. and Dixon cannot credibly argue that the entire course of events would not have occurred but for his decision to move there over a year after the last alleged assault. Plaintiff's conclusionary allegation that he was injured in California or that defendants aimed their conduct at him in California was insufficient too. Let's see here. Let's see here. Dixon fails the second specific jurisdiction prong 2. Dixon must establish that his claims arise out of or relate to a non-resident defendant's contacts with the forum. This is a but-for test. Dixon must show that he would not have been injured but for defendant's contacts with California. So that's an example of one of the cases they have there. Because the complaint does not identify any actions defendants directed towards California, the but-for test fails. Dixon's January 2023 relocation is irrelevant. It had nothing to do with defendants or their contacts with California, and Dixon cannot credibly argue that the entire course of events would not have occurred but for his decision to move there over a year after the last alleged assault. Plaintiff's conclusionary allegations that he was injured in California or that defendants aimed their conduct at him in California was insufficient too, or are insufficient too. Exercising personal jurisdiction over defendants would not be reasonable. Dixon cannot satisfy the third prong either, which requires that the exercise of jurisdiction over defendants be reasonable. Courts examine 7 factors, rather the extent of the defendant's purposeful injection into the forum state's affairs. That's number 1. Number 2, the burden on the defendants of defendant in the forum. Number 3, the extent of conflict with the sovereignty of the defendant's state. Number 4, the forum state's interest in adjudicating the dispute. Number 5, the most efficient judicial resolution of the controversy. Number 6, the importance of the forum to the plaintiffs in obtaining convenient and effective relief. And 7, the existence of an alternative forum. All 7 factors should be balanced and none are dispositive. Wow. Because the court has already concluded that defendants did not expressly aim their conduct in California, the purposeful injection factor weighs against the reasonableness of exercising personal jurisdiction. Second, litigating this dispute in California were unduly burdened defendants who are all Georgia residents. There is no evidence of any sovereignty conflict, and California has little or no interest in adjudicating this dispute. And thus, the third and fourth factors, respectively, do not weigh in favor of exercising jurisdiction. As for the fifth and 7 factors, the dispute will be resolved more efficiently and appropriately in Georgia because all defendants and witnesses are located there. Indeed, only one of these 7 factors might possibly support California jurisdiction. Factor 6, as California may be a more convenient forum for only Dixon because he resides in the state. That alone, however, it's not enough. Defendants are unaware of any territory in the Ninth Circuit or otherwise, allowing courts to exercise personal jurisdiction for out-state defendants solely because a particular forum is more convenient for the plaintiff. Alternatively, the case should be dismissed for proper review under Federal Rules Civil Penal Code 12B3 and USC 1406A. The court should also dismiss this action for being filed in the improper forum. The presence of a forum clause in Dixon's former agreements overcomes the general rule that removal precludes any objection to improper venue. Let's see here. The forum selection clauses control here and material dismissal. When he signed his former agreements, the plaintiff agreed that if a dispute or portion of or any claim for a particular form of relief not otherwise precluded by any other provision of this agreement may not be arbitrated pursuant to applicable state or federal law, may be heard in a court of competent jurisdiction of applying Georgia law without regard to his choice of law's principles. almost there, y'all. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What we got going? There we go. That's what we like to see there. Okay. Let's see here. The forum selection clauses control here and mandate dismissal. When he assigned his performer agreements, plaintiff agreed that if a dispute or portion thereof of any claim for a particular form of relief not otherwise precluded by any other provision of this agreement may not be arbitrated pursuant to the applicable state or federal law, may be heard only in a court of competent jurisdiction of Fulton County, applying Georgia law without regard to its choice of law principles. Under federal law, which governs diversity cases like this one, a forum selection clause is prima facie valid and should not be set aside unless the party challenging enforcement of the provision of the forum provision can show it is reasonable and unjust, or that the clause was invalid for such reasons as far overreaching. This test applies to both general and work-related forum selection clauses in general. The forum selection clauses here are presumptively valid. Dixon cannot meet the heavy burden of showing that the clauses are unreasonable or unjust or procured through fraud. Dixon signed multiple former agreements to work in Georgia, all of which contain explicit Georgia forum selection clauses. There is no reasonable basis to conclude that these contracts were unjust or procured through fraud. Accordingly, the court can dismiss this case under Federal Rule Civil Penal Code 12B3. Solely an alternative, this case should be transferred to Georgia under 28 U.S.C. 1406 or 1404. Although the interest of justice generally requires transferring an action brought in an improper venue instead of dismissal is proper, where, as here, a plaintiff purposely seeks to avoid prosecution of his case in a different jurisdiction through plaintiff forum shopping. Alternatively, the court should transfer the case to the Northern District of Georgia. C 28 U.S.C. 1406. Georgia is the appropriate venue for this dispute, as it is where Dixon's action could have and indeed should have been brought. Georgia is where the parties agreed to adjudicate a dispute in Georgia, and is primarily where Dixon alleges that almost all the purported misconduct took place. In fact, Dixon can assert a claim under the FEHA. He can't ascertain the defendant's contemporaneously filled, probably opening statement, motion to dismiss pursuant to Federal Rule Civil Penal Code 12B6. That statute mandates that the action be brought in Georgia, the jurisdiction where the alleged unlawful conduct occurred. Dixon cannot avoid proper reinforcement of Government Code 12965B by arguing that only a court-based California can adjudicate this FEHA claim. Any federal district court outside of the state can conduct a choice of law analysis and apply any California-specific law or laws deemed it is applicable. If venue is improper, the court must dismiss or transfer such case to any jurisdiction or division in which it could have been brought, assuming arguendo that Dixon could properly bring FEHA claims against defendants. They should be litigated in Georgia and transferred to pursuant 28 USC USC 1406A. So basically what this is kind of giving me is that Tyler Perry is really fighting against Derek Dixon to be able to have it out in California. That's basically what it's giving me here. Motion to dismiss pursuant to Federal Rule Civil Penal Code 12B6. The statute mandates that the action be brought in Georgia, the jurisdiction where the alleged unlawful conduct occurred. Dixon cannot avoid the proper enforcement of government. Oh, yeah, I already read all that. My bad. My bad, y'all. I'm just rereading it just for context connection. Forum non-convenience provides another grounds for transfer. District courts may transfer any civil action to any other district or division where it might have been brought either for the convenience of the parties and witnesses or in the interest of justice. To make this determination, the court considers four private interest factors. Number one, the plaintiff's choice of forum. Number two, the convenience of the parties. Number three, the convenience of the witnesses. Number four, the ease of access to evidence. And four, public interest factors. Number five, familiarity of each forum with the applicable law. Number six, feasibility of consolidation with other claims. Number seven, any local interest in the controversy. Number eight, the relative court congestion and time to trial in each forum. Now, we don't know if it's going to be an actual trial, right? We know what happened to me. Diddy, he got sentenced to 4 years, but I don't think it's going to be that for Tyler. I really don't. But then again, hey, we'll see. We shall see. When there is a forum selection clause at play, as here, the court need only analyze the public interest factors. Forum selection clauses should be given controlling weight in all but most exceptional cases where the public interest factors weigh against transferring an action to the agreed upon forum. This is not an exceptional case. All of the applicable public interest factors weigh strongly in favor of transfer to the Northern District of Georgia. So Georgia courts are more familiar with Georgia law. California law does not automatically apply simply because Dixon filed suit there before actions occurred outside California. Valid contractual choice of law provisions existing requiring Georgia law and a Georgia court will be more familiar with Georgia law. Applying Georgia law would not violate California's public policy. The fact that a chosen state's law differs from California law or imposes different or higher standards does not mean that application of that law will contravene California public policy. District asserts claims under California's anti-discrimination laws. FEHA Dixon's claims should be brought under the laws of the state where he worked, in which this case is Georgia, which follows federal and anti-discrimination laws. Since all VII mirrors the FEHA and Dixon can equally seek recovery for alleged harassment and retaliation for Georgia, doing so will not violate any public policy of California. Georgia law also applies Dixon's state law tort claims because California courts apply the laws of the state where the tort is committed. Let's see here. California law did not apply to tort claims simply because plaintiffs happen to move to a jurisdiction where law provides more favorable treatment to the plaintiff than available under the law of the state which the notorious conduct occurred. Dixon would not be denied any rightful relief if Georgia law applied to the statute, though California may have a policy interest in protecting its citizens. It does not follow that applying unsafe laws would be necessarily violate public policy. Applying New York law to dispute, despite California's considerable interest in protecting its citizens from oppressive, restrictive covenants imposed by employers because the plaintiff could not establish specific labor code provisions applicable to the dispute that contracted New York law. Finding that choice of law provision in employment agreement applied to claims arising under California law, the first public interest factor weighs in favor of transfer. Number two, local interest lie in Georgia. Plaintiff was a citizen of Georgia for 4 years out of the 5-year time period relevant to his claim including when the alleged assaults occurred. He was a Georgia citizen when he executed formal agreements containing Georgia's choice of law informed selection clauses, and he worked for Georgia businesses only in Georgia. Thus, local interests exist only in Georgia. Wow. Okay. Find that local interest was stronger in the state where the plaintiff resided at the time he executed the contract, given rise to dispute, and where plaintiff resided when the harm occurred. States have a strong interest in deciding controversies involving business headquartered in the state, and that employs a substantial number of their citizens. Local interest factor points to Georgia. Number 3, California courts are more congested. By transferring this case, this court can do a small part in lightening its considerable docket in favor of a district with more capacity to handle this action. As this court is surely aware, it is among the busiest in the nation. In fact, it was the busiest in the country the first 3 months of this year, with 16,625 new case filings. Good damn. Although this district has more judges, the data suggests that the Northern District has more bandwidth to officially try this matter further. All the defendants, witnesses, and evidence is located in Georgia, and thus the case will likely proceed much more efficiently there. Public interest factors weigh in favor of transfer. This action does not belong in California, should be transferred at minimum. Conclusion: for the foregoing reasons, the court should dismiss this action, or in the alternative, transfer it to the Northern District of Georgia. And then that is everything you need to know there. Quite interesting. I get the play. I do get the play that, Tyler Perry's trying to go for, but also to a Derek Dixon here. The receipts are the receipts, right? And so California does have a lot of the strictest rules and laws when it comes to human beings, right? California starts it and then America follows it, right? Usually. So I do see the play for that. Local interests lie in California, but also too, is Tyler Perry willing to do an audit of if there are any other employees that would like to come forward, right? So that's what I think about this for sure. Like I said, quite interesting. I did not know if I would be able to get through all of that. It wasn't really too bad, honestly, to be real with y'all. But like I said, this is Tyler Perry's response to Derek Dixon of transfer over to Georgia. You do realize that if they transfer to Georgia, like, the allegations are still the allegations, right? You got to recognize that. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. So, But yes, indeed, everybody. So yeah, we are just relaxing for right now. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Yes, indeed. Good Lord Jesus. Like I said, it should be interesting because, like I said, Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married Again is filming over in Italy right now. So I'm wondering what, his people are, I'm sure they can't talk about on set, right? Because it's pending litigation. But I am sure that his cast, has questions and everything in between, right? So, yes, indeed. Hey, one person, welcome in. We're just here chilling, talking about Tyler Perry. This is his response to Derek Dixon. Derek Dixon filed a $260 million lawsuit. This response came in on So yeah, this was filed um, October 1st, right? So this just came out on September 23rd, 24th, or 25th. Defendants counsel contacted the plaintiff's counsel in a good faith attempt to resolve the issues raised in this motion. So there is that there. And then, of course, the date, if anybody happens to be in Atlanta, please note that on December 5th, 2025 at 10 a.m. or as soon thereafter, as this motion may be heard at the First Street U.S. Courthouse, 350 West First Street, Suite 4311, Los Angeles, California, 90012. I thought that was Atlanta, but California. So if you happen to be out in California during that time, then there you go there. Like I said, Tyler Perry probably won't show up to this. It'll probably just be his legal representation. But hey, then again, if you're out there and you get the story, go live with it. Well, don't go live. Well, here's the thing. You can shoot footage from the courtroom, depending on if it's a federal court or not, because as we know, for the P. Diddy trial, right, and for the verdict, there was no cameras in the courtroom. So it depends. It depends. So. But yes, indeed, almost there to a full-fledged hour. Child. You like the music? I could literally take a pillow right now. Let's go sleep to this. Because it's giving chill vibes, you know what I mean? Like low EDM music or lo-fi music. That's what it's giving. So it's got that upbeat tempo, but very soulful foundation. That is our new theme song, y'all. That's the instrumental of our new theme song. So yeah, we debuted it this morning. Very, very proud of that, and I sincerely love it, and it literally makes my day. It literally makes my day. You know what I mean? So. And plus, the one thing I really do love about the song is it's a very, very, very inviting song. Like, you can play this in your car, you can play this in your house. If you're on your lunch break, you can definitely plug this in and listen to it on your lunch break. You can do a lot. You can do quite a lot. So yeah. Yes, indeed. Hey, one person, welcome in. I'm just listening to our new background music here. Just chillaxing. Got done reading this response to Derek Dixon from Tyler Perry's legal team. Like I said, looks like this story is far from over. And I do know if it's a trial, I know Storm Monroe is going to cover it from wall to wall. And if it's a guilty verdict, I know Storm Monroe will definitely have something to say on this for sure. So Almost there to a full-fledged hour. Yes, indeed. And skadoosh, with that being said, we've done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Hang on, let me do that right. Hang on, let me sit up and do that right, Joe. Hang on, I gotta give it to you right. I'm gonna turn off my camera now because we done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. There we go. There you go. So, full-fledged hour of content there. Like I said, this came out and definitely wanted to respond to it. I'm glad that we were able to do that. It looked like it really wasn't that long of a video, but yes, it is. So. Yes, indeed. Like I said, I'll probably be here for another 5 minutes to 1 hour and 5 minutes, and then I will head on out. And, yes, indeed. So, but another good time here on Braylon's virtual tour live. Hey, one person, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Just wanted to showcase this to y'all, that Tyler Perry did respond to Derek Dixon, and like I said, it looks like it is far from over. Like I said, we saw what happened to P. Diddy, but could it happen to Tyler Perry? Who knows? Who knows? So. See, as soon as it gets to 1 hour and 5 minutes, we will head on out. But a great time for sure. Great times. So yes, indeed. Is that bass for me, man? Bringing it down, lifting it higher. Yes, indeed. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're breaking it down, lifting it higher right here on Braylon's virtual tour live. Glad to have all you here. 34 minutes after the hour, 34 minutes after 9 o'clock on the dot here. Glad to have all you here in the building with me. My Lord, what a good time we have had today. 3 shows in one day. Yes, indeed. At least I think the most I've done in a day is probably like, 4 shows in a day, but, you know. So, yeah. So almost there for 1 hour and 5 minutes, and then we'll head on out of here. Indeed. Boom. All right, y'all. That is it for me. Thank you to Lati Dati, everybody, for being here. I appreciate y'all. To the one person here, thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody coming through the live. Like I said, just trying my best to give y'all nothing but good content here. So, yes, indeed. With that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born a blessing. Trust you may not be where you want to be, right? But you'll be where you need to be. You've been chosen to do wise one thing to call yourself is nothing. Be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You spend time with me. Hopefully, I spend time together. Lots of great together. And always remember what you're doing: radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or just keeping up with Hollywood, and just try to make sure your everyday life is good by just knowing that you have a place to fall and knowing it's okay to breathe sometimes in the midst of you trying to get through your journey. Make sure the replay is not just for you to watch it, not just for you to listen to it, for you want to read it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you all. Always remember, or see what you got to do, or see what you got to do, or see what you got to give it. Where obstacles you overcome, where success you have achieved. Upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. But finally, y'all, listen. We do not know what the outcome is going to be of this, but let's all agree that no employee should ever be harassed, famous or not. Can we at least agree on that? I think we can. So with that being said, one love, much love for all of everybody. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Now, everybody.
Untold under moonlit skies. Braylon got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show you. Scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. So clear, the pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing's to
Hey, Nick News, hang on, my friend. How are you? Hopefully all is well with y'all. We'll always make time for people who make time for me. How are you? I hope all is well. I just got done reading the response to Derek Dixon that Tyler Perry's team gave out. The song that you heard is your nephew's new and our new anthem for our brand. Of course, you know, Part of the Game by Velveteen is our theme song. But I was like, we need something in the meantime, between time. So this here, that is the instrumental for the song that you just heard there. So they viewed it this morning. Very, very proud of it. And so you'll be hearing that song quite a lot on the channel. I want to thank you so much. Thank you. I wanted something that reflected how far we've come, but it gave you Part of the Game by Velveteen, but in its own style. And that I think there's the quote in there of breaking it down, lifting it higher. We do that quite often over here, and so it feels like a complete song. And that ending statement of anybody can be a creator, but it takes somebody to be an artist. Sounds like somebody said that before, huh? But like I said, as soon as I got it done, I think it was Sunday. I was like, oh my God, Nicki News on Narcissism, and everybody in the virtual tour family is going to freak out over this track. They're gonna be like, how, why, what? Like, I knew we were a cool chill before, but like, hang on a second, what is this? But yeah, that is our song. So if you want to download that song and play it anytime that you want to, please let me know, and I may upload the instrumental as well, because I know that some people they don't mind listening to instrumentals at night, especially like for white noise and stuff like that. So I may do that as well, so we guys can have the instrumental, and also you can have the song anytime you want. So if you play it where they'll be like, is that an actual song? That's jamming. It's just it's a Grammy winning it's a Grammy winning hit. It's won 10 Grammys. No, don't lie. Don't do that. Let's not be thirsty toxicity. Let's not do that. Okay, let's not be that. But you can say at least it's a great song. But no, I feel you, my friend. I feel you. I am so glad to be able to rest, because it's been so hectic. I mean, like I said, after Friday, I was just kaput. For those of you who missed me on Friday, yours truly was up from 10 a.m. Friday to 7 p.m. Friday, covering the Diddy verdict live. What a powerhouse tour we were on for that. And then Saturday, of course, was On Brand with Jimmy Fallon, reviewing that show. It's a media-based competition where 10 powerhouses have the chance to pitch their ideas to these big brands like Dunkin' and Southwest Airlines and Pillsbury and Sonic. And I know what you're thinking, Bray, why didn't you sign up? Well, guess what? I didn't know about casting. Okay, yes, I know the person that keeps up with everything did not know about, but season 2, I'm coming for that $100,000 prize. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Of course, we did Potomac tonight. Tomorrow will be a brand new show at 6 o'clock. Then Wednesday, of course, we'll be doing On Brand with Jimmy Fallon. And then, of course, if you don't know, the Braxtons are back. So Saturday, we'll be doing a live after show about the Braxton, the first episode. So get ready for that. And then, of course, Never Ever Met, we haven't heard back about season 2 as of yet, but as soon as season 2 drops, we'll be ready for that. Hard Hustle Houston, waiting for season 2 for that as well. And then, of course, Ready to Love will be back November 7th. And we are in the Big D, Detroit, Michigan, this time around. So a lot more content to come your way. And that's in addition to everything else we do around here. So, and like I said, Nicki News, please let me know sincerely. Let me know what you want me to do with Beyond the Gates, because I really do want to get back into the show. But because it's over 100 episodes, child, I know a lot has happened since then. So I definitely want to know where your head is at. If you just want me to jump to the most immediate episode, I do know what is going on. I keep up with the spoilers, the updates, and everything, but please let me know. But yes, I will always make time for people who make time for me. So shout out to the News and Narcissism. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to that beautiful sister. And that is our song, everybody. So please play it. I may upload the instrumental. I think I will upload the instrumental. I just kind of want to rest tonight. But you guys will get the instrumental this week. So that way you guys can listen to it on your own time. Have that on in the background. So yeah. All right, y'all. That is it for me. Thank you so much, Nikki News. Love you. One love, much love, all up to Nikki News or Narcissism. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe to that beautiful sister. And one love, much love, all up to all of you. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye.
Untold under moonlit skies. Braylon got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show you. The scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune and lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. So clear, the pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power, to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be, Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth, we're free, trust and believe. It's entertainment, news done away with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. And just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no,
hey,
you ain't lucky.
Good night, good night, good night. And like I said, in me with what you want me to do, because I do want to get to Beyond the Gates, but also too, I know how people are about their shows, okay? So I want to get back into it, but also too, if I get back into it from the episode we are now, then we gotta just catch each other up. But I do want to serve my audience very well. So whatever we want to do, whatever you want to do, let me know. But regardless, you're still my auntie. I love you very much. Y'all subscribe to Nikki News on Narcissism, a great, great sister, friend, and individual. I mean that shit. You understand? Sincerely. And like I said, y'all go listen, play it, download it, share it. You know, you can even give it away as a Christmas gift. For like, hey, I got you a song you should listen to. You know, listen, I am that resourceful to y'all. Because in the words of Prince, we ain't got no money. Okay? We ain't got no money trying to get money. So you can use that track as a Christmas gift. Okay? Now, when I do make it, I just need y'all to support the empire. Okay? Now, I'm not going to, you know, I'm as much as y'all support me, I'm going to support y'all too. So there will be, reality competitions where you can like win money and prizes and all that type of stuff. So I'm gonna give back too, okay? But you gotta help me though, okay? So, all right, love you all. Good night. Love you, Nikki News. Talk soon. Bye bye.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make.
Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.